All right, here we go. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Good time as of this recording. At the time I am recording this, it is a great time to not only be a basketball fan, but more importantly, be a Miami Heat fan. You know what I'm saying? D. Wade, first ballot Hall of Famer, officially inducted, or officially is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And just last night, just yesterday, the Pivot Podcast debuted the one, the only, the great one, the real Mr. 305, real Mr. Dade County, Mr. UD, Udonis Haslem. And let me tell you, as a fan of the team, as a fan of the organization, I become more of a fan just by listening to his story and everything that he's lived through, man. There's so many things I did not know about UD because I was such a diehard D. Wade fan. And many times, his story gets thrown under the rug when it comes to, D. Wade was that international superstar and UD is like that Miami superstar, So I'm glad that the Pivot Podcast exists, and I'm glad they got him on and I got a chance to hear his story full out. In fact, this was the second time I heard UD on a podcast. The first one was on All the Smoke, but it didn't take a deep dive into his story. This one was different because he was surrounded by two other Gators, Channing and Fred Taylor, and they had known him before he became the UD that we all know and love out here in South Florida, right? So, two things that I want to re-emphasize. I strongly recommend you guys go listen to the video, to the podcast episode in its entirety. But there's two things that really stuck out to me in regards to teamwork and in regards to what I teach and what I implement businesses with when it comes to the innovative ways to create sales. It's all about teamwork, right? So, two players that he mentioned, Mike Miller and D. Wade. All right, first, Mike Miller was a teammate of his when he was at the University of Florida. And he got into a story about how when he played him in high school, how he was such a great player. He was one of the first white people that he saw actually really ball and do his thing. And he was talking about how when he went to the University of Florida with Mike Miller, he actually had to get into a fight. He actually had to get into a fight with a football player who was talking shit about Mike Miller and stuff like that, and he had to stick up. There's this black guy sticking up from this white dude who's from, I don't even remember the place that Mike Miller's from, but he had to stick up for his teammate. And then you turn over a couple years later when they won their second championship. See, a lot of people got to remember, when the Miami Heat won their second championship, that was the second year of the Big Three with LeBron, Wade, and CB. The players that stepped up to win that second championship was UD, Mike Miller, Mario Chalmers, Birdman. There was tons of role players that actually had to step up in order for D. Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron to do their thing. And Mike Miller and UD were on that team. All right, so once that was the first thing. Well, the first thing, the irony in seeing the way Mike Miller, he knew him in Florida, and how they were able to win a championship together with the Miami Heat. And then he spoke about D. Wade. The final question that they asked him was, give me your favorite teammate and then give me the best player you played with, because UD played with a ton of Hall of Famers. And immediately he said, look, my favorite teammate was D. Wade because of how they came in together. They were both kind of underrated, believe it or not. D. Wade was very underrated when he came into the league. So was UD. And, in fact, actually another story I got to tell you is when UD actually made the team is because Pat Riley actually saw him going after a rebound ball, going after a loose ball, and he was that type of player. But anyway, again, go listen to the episode in its entirety. I'm trying to give you this perspective on teamwork here. All right, so when he said D. Wade, it was because how they were able to build their careers together. And you got to understand, what they've done on the court is great, but also what they've done for the community, the way they go into business together, the friendship and the values and the things that they have together. And the one thing that I really got to tell you guys before I get out of here is he said that when they first met, it was a connection because UD had lost his mother because of, drug addiction and things like that. And D. Wade, as the story's kind of public now, D. Wade was going through some things with his mother and drug addiction and all that. And that's what connected him. And that's what had have them become brothers for life. And I want to bring that to you guys as business owners. Understand, when you're building an organization and building a culture like the Heat have been known for building a culture, that's what we're talking about. When you're in your business and you're bringing people on your team or bringing people on your staff, you got to make sure you connect them on a deeper level. So when they go out and they do their work, when they go out and they're doing their work, it is coming from a real place, and it's coming from a place where they really want to see things become great. That is your job as a business owner. That is your job as the person who is responsible for bringing people in, hiring them, and grooming them up. It is not all about yourself. It is not all about making a quick buck. It is about creating a cohesive unit and a cohesive culture that's going to go out and create lifelong friendships, lifelong relationships. That is the most important thing that you can do in business, and it all stems from teamwork, and it all stems from men coming together and reaching out for a common goal. All right. I dive deeper into all of this. The main website, MAKEYAMOVE, that's makeyamove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and self-development needs. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.